Week 1 of the NFL is officially a wrap, and we are headed in to week 2 of the NFL season, where I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions on every single game. I'm going to be giving you guys my picks. I'm not going to go full analysis breakdown, but I will touch on each of them very individually, very briefly. But before we go into week 2, let's go ahead and review what happened in week 1. As you guys see, I actually did pretty well. I'm not highlighting anything right now, but as you guys see, I got 3 wrong on the left side and 3 wrong on the right. I got the Packers-Eagles game wrong. I got the Bengals Patriots. I got the Cardinals Bills. That game should have been a win for us. We lost on a PI. Kyler missed Marvin. I'm gonna quit harping on it, but it sucks. On the right side, I got the Jaguars game wrong, but the Jaguars look pretty solid. That game could have went either way. I got the Browns game wrong, and then I also got the Rams and Lions game wrong. Those are the only ones though. I went 10 of 16 on the first week. That is a pretty decent record. Let's keep this thing going, man. Let's keep up the momentum going into week 2. Let's get this thing rolling. Get out of here, week 1. Shoo! In with week 2. Here we go. It starts on Thursday Night Football. The Dolphins versus the Bills. This is going to be an interesting game as I got to watch the Bills game entirely. I kind of got to see what they were made of. And then the Dolphins look pretty solid against Jacksonville. This is a toss-up, but I'm rocking Miami. I think they're going to get the dub. I don't think the Bills are insane. I really think Josh Allen is kind of all they got offensively. I think James Cook is solid. The Dolphins' weapons are too much for the Bills' defense to handle, and I think Miami's going to have a field day with them. Then going over to the first game on Sunday, we have the Chargers versus the Panthers. I'm going to go straight down in the column. I'm rocking with the Chargers. I think this is kind of a clueless decision. Jim Harbaugh had that team playing very solid. J.K. Dobbins exploded, and the Chargers looked a lot better than most people wanted to give them credit for. We knew they wanted to run the ball, and they did that. Panthers offense looked horrible. They really didn't have a chance to do anything. New Orleans had fantastic field position, so that defense was getting scored on like crazy. I think it's going to be a lot of the same. I think the Panthers team is very sorry, and they need to keep building, keep getting talent, but this is going to be a dropped game for them. Then we have a game that is probably going to go either way. I don't know how to predict this one because the Buccaneers are a pass-heavy first team, and the Lions can kind of do it all. The Lions struggle in the secondary, but they looked a lot better than they did last year with Terry and Arnold, who I wanted the Cardinals to get. And they pulled out an overtime victory, but something's telling me to go Tampa, man. Their receivers are too lethal. Baker threw for 4 freaking touchdowns. If he can dissect that defense, pick on these CBs with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, that's going to be fantastic for him. In this case, I have them starting 2-0. Detroit fans, this is the second week I'm actually marking you guys down for losses, so there's a big chance that this comes and bites me in the butt. You guys definitely have a shot to win it, and you are one of the best teams in the NFL, so it could go either way, but I'm feeling an upset in Tampa pulling it off. Then we have the Browns versus Jaguars, which is probably going to be a lot more competitive than the Browns versus Cowboys game, but I'm feeling Jacksonville. Browns looked awful, like absolutely terrible. Defense, offense, nothing was clicking. Deshaun Watson was under heavy duress. I mean, he just popped out with another case too, so things aren't looking great for him. It just looks like the camaraderie on that team is kind of fallen off. Without Nick Chubb, they are kind of nothing right now. And Jacksonville, I believe in them. I think they are going to be a fantastic football team this year, and I have them getting their first win of the year. Moving on to the next one, we have a division rival, Seattle Seahawks versus the Patriots, who I still think are one of the worst teams in the league. They pulled off an upset against the Bengals, who always struggle early on, so I mean, just go ahead and put the W up for Seattle. I have Seattle starting 2-0, unfortunately, because as a Cardinals fan, I need them to drop as many games as possible. I think that'll come in the later half of the year, but hey, for now, I'm going to have them starting 2-0. Patriots fans, I'm sorry as well. Then we have the S-Fest of the week, the game that probably nobody wants to watch, but probably these next two, I'm not going to lie to you, where we have the Giants and the Commanders, where I'm just going to go ahead and slot down a Commanders W. Jayden Daniels looks solid. He was utilizing his legs very well, and the Giants have Daniel Jones. Again, Daniel Jones is probably going to get picked on against every single week for me. I think he's buns, and even the Vikings felt bad for what they were doing. He said we kind of started to feel bad for him. I can't pick a quarterback that has quotes coming out like this against him. It's not going to happen for me. And then we're going to move over to the Steelers Broncos, where no one's probably going to pay attention to this game either. So where is the little W right there? We're going to go ahead and throw it for Pittsburgh. I think Russell Wilson is going to be a go this week, and it's going to be a field day against his former team. I don't know if it'll be a field day, actually. Let me go ahead and calm down a little bit. I think they're going to get the dub, and I think they're going to win it by 10 plus points. Let me go ahead and say that. Then rolling over to Sunday Night Football, where Caleb Williams gets his first Sunday night game against CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans, who looked insane. Stephon Diggs, 2 touchdowns in his Texans debut. That offense was clicking and they were going on all cylinders, and they beat the Colts in a fantastic game. One of the best of week 1 in my eyes. I'm rocking with the Texans. I think they're going to pick the Bears apart. I don't know how the Bears came back last week against Tennessee, but they did it. That boy Will Levis sold him the game, had him praying on his knees after he threw a pick 6. So I'm rocking Houston. I don't think the Bears are able to replicate that. I think the defense is great, but the offense is going to have to get things going. Like I said, I think Caleb Williams struggles early on, but he's going to find his footing. The talent is definitely around him. He has the weapons to do so, so just give it some time. It's not right now, though. Then we got Baltimore versus the Raiders, starting at the top right. Very interesting game because the Raiders, I think, are a little better than most people give them credit for, but the Ravens are looking to get their first win of the year after losing a close one to the Chiefs. And by close, I mean this close. Literally, Isaiah Likely was a toe drag away from beating Kansas City or potentially going to OT. Just depended what Harbaugh wanted to do, but he signaled up the 2. So I think it was either going to be a win or a loss on the 2-point conversion, but they didn't get a chance to do that and the Ravens lost. But I think they're going to come into here with their heads going high. I think Henry is going to have a monster day, and Lamar Jackson's going to kind of sit back and relax and watch Derrick Henry feast against the Raiders. Then we have the Saints and Cowboys game, which is very interesting because the Saints had a fantastic outing against the Carolina Panthers, put up 40 points. Derek Carr 3 tutties. I'm confusing him and Baker. And then the Cowboys ripped the Browns to shreds. One of the best defenses in the league. Cowboys had no problem. So for that reason, I'm taking the Cowboys. I think this is going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be within 6 points probably. It's going to come down to defense. It's going to come down to the last couple plays. It's going to come down to the last couple stands of the game and who is going to clutch up, and I think it's going to be the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. This is the playoffs. It'd be a different story. I would not be picking Dallas. Then we're going to go ahead and move on to the Packers-Colts game, where the Packers lost their franchise quarterback Jordan Love for the foreseeable future, and Anthony Richardson looked pretty dang good in his debut game. He threw it like 60 yards, like the furthest I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes on some Mike Vick-ish type timing. Like, I don't even know how he did that. That was one of the most insane throws I've ever seen. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know. And I'm rocking with the Colts because I think they are a better overall team. I think the Packers are going to struggle with Malik Willis at quarterback. I don't think that's going to do good at all. They don't really have a backup who's serviceable there, and I think it's going to hurt them a lot. If they had Jordan Love, I'd probably be picking them, but they don't. I'm not believing in Malik Willis. That's just kind of what this game comes down to. Then we go to San Fran versus the Vikings, where Sam Darnold looked pretty good, didn't he? One of the best quarterback performances in week 1, and then the 49ers are the 49ers. They beat the crap out of the Jets. Took it to Aaron Rodgers. I'm taking the best team in football right now, the San Francisco 49ers. I'm giving them the win without Christian McCaffrey. I don't think it matters. Talent-wise, they are way better than Minnesota is, but Sam Darnold could have a pretty decent game. But we know how the 49ers are. They get active on defense. That team just swarms everybody. There's so much talent there, and they play so well together. San Francisco has just all the tools to be so successful and win the Super Bowl. It's just they always fall short for whatever reason. I don't know what it is, but in the regular season, they're one of the best teams. I have them going 2-0. And we go to the Jets and the Titans. Yikes. Tennessee, I'm sorry, man. I do not have you winning this. You guys should be 1-0 right now, but unfortunately, you're not. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is comfortable. He finally got a little bit of comfortability in him after tearing his Achilles and coming back in week 1. That was his first game. It was against the 49ers. It's only going to go up from here. He's going to have a fantastic season. He's probably going to rip you guys to shreds. I'm sorry. I know you guys signed a lot of people. Tony Pollard. You guys had the corner in Kansas City. I'm blanking on the name. The L'Jarius Sneed. Like, you guys have a couple good signings, but like at the end of the day, I don't think it's enough. I think you guys are going to win like 6 games on the year, and this is not one of those. The Jets are going to tear you all apart. Then we have the Cardinals-Rams, where I'm rocking with an Arizona Cardinals victory. I think the Cardinals are a really decent football team. I think we are a top 14 team with a terrible defense. I think the Rams, though, also have a terrible defense. They don't have Aaron Donald anymore. I broke down this whole game on my channel if you guys want to check it out. Obviously, I am a Cardinals fan, so I post Arizona Cardinals kind of videos, NFL kind of videos like this. If you guys want to see the full breakdown on that, go check it out, but I'm rocking with the Cardinals. Then we got the Bengals versus the Chiefs, a very interesting matchup. The Super Bowl champions coming into week 2, trying to knock off that rust, just beat one of the best teams in the NFL in the Baltimore Ravens, and the Bengals always start slow for whatever reason. It's just what they do. I don't really understand it, but the first like 4 to 5 weeks, Cincinnati is terrible, and then they just turn up out of nowhere. I'm going to say they break that curse, though. I think Cincinnati's going to walk away with a win. Now, I could be flat out wrong with this. This could be a stupid pick, but I'm going to say they break that curse and actually bounce back with Jamar Chase getting a full week of practice. I think he's finally good to go, and then I think the Cincinnati Bengals will be okay. The run game is a little iffy, but I think they're going to find a way to get it done, and Joe Burrow's going to come out on top versus Patrick Mahomes. Then we go to Monday Night Football, where Kirk Cousins and the big bright lights of MNF are shining on you, Kirko. That boy Kirk Cousins does not like to play on Monday Night Football. 3-10 record. Must I say any more? We're rocking Philly, man. Philly, one of the best teams in the league. I'm rocking with them again. They re-upped. Saquon Barkley had a fantastic week 1. I think he had 3 total touchdowns. I don't think the Falcons are stopping anybody. So Falcons fans, you're going to start 0-2. That's just what it is. These are my picks. Let me know though down in the comment section below. That is going to wrap up all of my week 2 predictions. Let me know what you think I got right, what you think I got wrong. Can we get a perfect week? I'm putting it out there. Perfect week. Let's freaking get this thing, man. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. If you guys did enjoy, man, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL videos like this, so if you're a fan of that, man, consider hitting that subscribe button. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.